there are a lot of tabs you just have to open. So I just kind of get them all opened first. And they are, you have to open up Entreport.
Entreport.
Obviously,
Okay.
yep, and obviously we'll get you all the login information for all these different tabs. So we open Entreport. We open the the website, our website, Creative Warriors Unite, that you put the posts on.
Mm-hmm.
Always check that. Just make sure that they are there and that a couple of times, remember that more line hasn't been in there.
Yeah.
And when it's not, the entire blog shows up in a single column like this, which means the website becomes a mile long.
Mm.
So always check, that hasn't happened in a really long time. So thankfully,
And if it does, what do we do?
go back to if it does, you go back into the editing, the background,
Yeah.
and you put the more line back in.
Oh, okay. Put it back in. Got it.
Yeah, somehow when it's happened, it's been like it hasn't held or something. I don't know,
Okay.
but it hasn't happened in a long time. So then, of course, the next tab you'll open actually is the dashboard that you're accustomed to working in.
Okay.
And this is interesting. I have to log back in. I think that's it. I have so many different WordPress sites, I can't remember all the logins. Okay, that is it.
Yeah.
And we're going to want to open Libsyn.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's more, but we will certainly figure it out.
Okay.
All right, so first thing to do is to get out the email, and that email, of course, is in Entreport. When you open Entreport, by the way, it always opens to the last page whoever was on. So me, you, Warren, and Paul all have access to Entreport. So if any of us are working on wherever we left off is what
Yes.
you're going to see when you open it.
Okay.
So what you need to go is to Messages.
Okay.
So you're going to go over to Messages. It should be the one last at the top, but you're also going to know because you just did the episode, so you'll know what numbers you're looking
Yeah.
at. So Creative
Right.
Wars episode 131, 152. Like I said, it should be sitting at the top because it's probably the most recent thing I did, but it may not always be.
Right.
You're going to open it up. Now, so what we need to do is now that the blog is live, which is why we always have to wait until it's after it's live, now we have to put live links in because like he says, click here to listen to episodes, it's not a live link.
Okay.
So what you do is you go over to the actual website, open up Orna's episode, copy and paste or copy the link, go back to Entreport, and each episode, the link goes in two areas. So right under the photograph, it will say click here to listen to the episode. You're going to highlight it,
All right.
go up here to the link, paste in the actual link,
Mm-hmm.
go to Target,
Mm-hmm.
set it, open up in a new window,
Mm-hmm.
hit OK. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll also be down here. So I do the same thing every episode. It'll always say click here to listen to the episode, and then down further it'll say click here to listen to Orna. So I phrase it slightly different, but it's the same link.
Let me ask you a question, maybe a silly question, but how did this email get generated like this?
I wrote it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I do these emails because the flavor of the emails is meant to be kind of in my words, my
Okay.
language.
Okay.
So 'cause I'm kind of giving, this is going out to about 8,000 people.
Okay.
And, there are people that are on my list. They're used to getting this every, but of course, if they're new to the list, and I'll show you. Actually 2 emails go out.
Okay.
I'll get to you in a second. But so yeah, I write this email.
Okay.
All right. So Orna's, so there's 2 spots, 2 links for each episode. So that's
Yeah.
Orna's, and then Carrie would be next, and then you go back to
Mm-hmm.
the website.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Carrie's. Copy. Again, always set the target to new window.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just more user friendly. Link. Okay, so once you've done that, you check it, you'll see that there are 4 live links.
Right.
Once that's done, you scroll down a little bit, and down here, you always just hit, once the links are in there, you hit copy from HTML.
Okay.
Yes. It's the plain text of the email. Mm-hmm. So if anybody has HTML shut off or something, or Flash, or whatever, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but what I do know, Entreport tells you to do that because it reduces your spam score.
Okay.
You see, without that, there's a far, far, far greater percentage of people are never going to get the actual email. So once you've done that, so again, 4 live links, copied from HTML, save it.
Okay.
Right? Now, and then you're going to go back. So we actually send out 2 emails a week. One to everyone who's been on the list for more than a week, and then a separate email to people who signed up within the past week.
Okay.
So, because people that signed in within the last week, anybody who's opted into our list in the past week, we want them to get a little different email.
Okay.
Which is a little more welcoming them and explaining them to why they're getting this email. Because if you've just opted in, all of a sudden you start getting this, so it's just kind of my indoctrination process a little bit.
Okay.
Which, by the way, with Entreport is very funky. So if you notice, I don't know if you noticed, but I hit the back button and it did nothing.
No, I didn't know.
If that happens, just go under contacts and hit messages and go back that way. The back button often doesn't work. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to Entreport. All right, so you go back to the original message.
Right.
And hit this little box next to it. Now, you don't want to hit the one up here next to name. You want to hit it next to the individual episode.
Right.
Click that.
Right.
And then hit copy.
Okay.
And then, yes, you want to copy it. First thing I do is change the name up here a little bit because I don't want it to be called copy of. I want to take that out.
Mm-hmm.
Then I go all the way to the, so it's Creative Warriors episodes, episode 131, 132, states new opt-in. So this is the email that's going to the new opt-in.
Okay.
And then I have a document on my computer that I moved yesterday. Here it is, which I'm going to get this to you. So this is a plain text document of the beginning paragraph of the new opt-in email.
Okay.
So copy. And that goes after their name. So
okay.
Go down 1 space and then copy, paste. Now, Entreport being what it is, whenever you copy and paste, it just makes up its own font.
Okay.
So copy, or excuse me, highlight. Mm-hmm. The font, as always, Trebuchet, size 14.
Okay.
Yeah, it always does that.
Okay.
And you just change it back. So now we have an email with a little bit of a different message. It's it's a different beginning.
Right.
So that, again, people that are brand new to the list are understanding why they're getting it. Mm-hmm. Then you need to go down to the bottom, and now because we've changed up here, this down here needs to be changed. So just click anywhere, Command All on a Mac anyway to highlight it all, delete it.
Okay.
And then hit copy HTML again.
So just refresh.
So now it's the plain text of the revised email.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
And then save.
Okay.
All right, so now we have 2 different emails. So now we can get it ready to send. You can close this, by the way. It's the one and only time you need it.
Okay.
All right, we'll go back to contacts.
Okay.
And if this is a group. So if there's any groups open, just close it so you can get back to the main list.
Okay.
All right, so this is the main list. This is everybody who's on the list, but we're going to specifically send to a group called CW Email Group, Creative Warriors. So it's CW Email Group.
Okay.
And it brings up almost the entire list. Now, this group, so you'll say, then we're going to change the group. We have to manage the group every week. So this is the list, but then you click Manage Groups. Mm-hmm. And just, you don't have to, you're only going to change one thing here, but just so you understand, the CW group is everybody in the database except for people that are tagged prospective partner or tagged connection or tagged Jeff Guest. So these are people I don't want to get the email.
Okay.
For one reason or another.
Okay.
All right. So the only thing we need to change here is this date because, again, everyone that opted in the past week is getting a separate email. So we need to change this date to the last Wednesday, which is the 24th. Right? What's today's date? Yeah. Now we're in March. Yeah. So the last. So you're always just going a week ahead, basically. All right. So now what this is saying is this email is going to go to everybody who's less than or equal to February 24th.
Okay.
When we do the next email, that goes to everyone greater than February 24th.
Okay.
That's the new opt-in group.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly.
So this main email goes to people less than or equal to 1 week before.
Yeah.
All right, so then we hit that save. So that's going to slightly change the group.
Okay.
All right. And that is it. Let me see. I'm just going to double check, which I do sometimes. February 20th, 2016. Okay. All right. So now we want to send the main email to the whole group. So for that, then you click the little box above next to the name.
Okay.
And the most common thing to skip, which is why I'm going to stress it, is this step. You'll notice that it defaults to highlighting only the people on this page, of which there are 50.
Okay.
You need to click the orange link next to it that says select all items, and you'll see that suddenly changed to 9,294.
Okay. That's a good
If you didn't,
check.
you only will have sent it to people on the first page.
Right. Okay, good check. Yep.
That's the easiest thing to skip. So you just click that orange link, and then what we're going to do to these 9,294 people is send them an email. So you hit email, and now you have to find that email.
Right.
So start typing. What I do is I type Creative Warriors, and then start scrolling down. And they're not entirely in order because I don't know why.
Okay, yeah, understand.
What episode number did we just do? 131 and 132?
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. So the first one we're sending is
the regular list,
the regular list, yeah. All right. And you'll see that it doesn't have that beginning. Okay, so that's ready to go, and then you go over to schedule and send. You'll always get this. There's some context missing email. Just ignore and proceed.
Okay.
And you're going to schedule it today, obviously, and I always have it sent out at 8:20 a.m.
Okay.
And then hit send.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Now we can close that group because we're going to go to the next group, which is the new opt-in group. I just type new, and that will come up, opt-in group. And we have to go back to manage group. Change the date to the 24th, so now it's greater than.
Greater than, okay.
Now that's confusing, actually. It says it says greater than or equal to. The other one said greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So this actually should just be greater than.
There you go. Yep.
Oh,
good
that's a mistake.
Good catch.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's been changed. You don't forget that part of the recording because that's been fixed. But so greater than the 24th.
Right.
Save that.
Should be 300 and something, I think, or 116. Okay.
16. Yep. So then you click next to name, and because it's more than 50, you have to send all items in group.
Yeah.
Just send them an email.
Okay.
Just type in Creative Warriors. And scroll down. You see 131, 132. I think these are, I don't know. I've yet to figure out. I don't know if there's like a spell something different or not. I don't know whether or not just in a nice order.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Go back to schedule and send. Same day, same time.
8:20. Okay. Okay.
All right. So that's the biggest thing. Like that's the biggest thing that needs to be done. Now the next thing, so that's the one big bucket of, hey, get those 2 emails out.
Okay.
And then we have to notify our the 2 guests now we have to notify the 2 guests.
Okay.
So for that, you want to go to all your contacts and you can do it one of 2 ways, actually. Probably easiest to do it this way, which is to go back to your groups, and if you go to CW guests,
okay,
just brings up, it says 125 guests, brings up, they'll almost always be the top 2 because they've been most recently added.
Okay.
Oh, but you can also just use the search over here for their last name of the whole database, and it will come up too.
Okay.
You can kind of do it either way. So Lorna's episode is going up today.
Yes, yes.
So you kind of have to check. Here's why you have to check who is. Some of the guests, let's see if I can find one, goes to like an assistant or a publisher, which means we have to slightly change the wording on the email that we send them.
Okay.
You'll see the message in a second. But in this case, it's both of these episodes, Carrie and Ross, are going to them.
Okay.
But it's not always the case. I said a lot of our guests, we're actually emailing somebody on their team or a publisher or an agent.
So do I look for the email to be different than their name?
Well, no. Wait, yes. Yeah, you'll see that the email is different than their name.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find one. Well, actually, you know how else you can tell is when I've put them in, I've put their name. Like, okay, Bob Proctor's good. So I put Bob Proctor's company because otherwise I wouldn't know. This Angela Januzzi is, A. Januzzi at penguinrandomhouse.com. This is Bob's publisher. So you'll know if their name is over here. All of these people that have the name over here, Angela Martindale, Carrie Hill, contacted Carrie. So whenever there's a name over here, the person over here is different.
Okay.
In most cases, not always. And there's some that aren't. That's not the case. Even Anne Ray has some woman, Amy at Anne Ray. So the emails went to her.
They went to Anne?
For Anne Ray, it went to Amy at Anne Ray.
Okay.
So you really just, first thing you're doing is just going to the name to see who this email is going to, because now we're going to go look at the message, and we might have to slightly alter the message if it's not going to the guest.
Okay.
Now that we know it is, in this case, Carrie Orna is going to the guest, now we can go back to messages. We're going to look for this, we're going to look for a specific group of messages. So CW guests. What did I do? Oh, it's in contacts. I thought it was messages. Hang on. Messages. Why didn't that work? CW guest. Yeah, all right. For whatever reason. So yeah, so there are 4 emails that go to our guests. I mean, not all at once. There's just only 4 in the system. So what we're looking for is for Orna, whose episode is live today. You want the CW guest interview live. Subject Your Creative Warriors interview is live. Okay, so if we click on that, it'll bring that message up. So this is why you needed to know. If it's not going directly to that person, you would put Bob's Creative Warriors interviews.
Makes sense. Okay.
And there's slight language different down here because we're not speaking to the person.
Yes, yes.
We also, we provide each of our guests with a live link and some suggested tweets.
Okay.
So,
okay.
First thing is we have to give them a live link, but we want to make it a pretty link. So we go back to here, back to the main website, open up Orna, get her link again,
Mm-hmm.
and copy, go to our dashboard so that we can go to Pretty Link. We want to add a new link. Have you ever used Pretty Link?
A long time ago, but I have used it.
All right. So we always, it defaults to temporary. I have no idea why. Always change that to permanent.
Okay.
The target URL is the one you just copied.
Yes.
And then the Pretty Link, we change it to their whoever's last name.
Okay.
Okay. And then we create the link.
Okay.
Right. So now we have a live link. Command copy.
Okay.
Back to the email.
Mm-hmm.
And paste. And to make sure it's a live link, we're going to highlight it again and actually put it in as a live link as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust Ontraport enough to know that they're going to convert that to a live link. I actually put it in as a live link.
Okay.
Right. And you can see it changed the font, but we're not going to worry about that yet
Okay.
because we're going to change all these tweets. These tweets were for the previous episode.
Okay.
So right now, every Wednesday morning, Jason sends me tweets for the episodes that week. I'm going to have him. I'll have him start sending those to you.
Okay.
So you'll have an email from Jason.
Okay.
Podcast tweets for Orna. Podcast tweets for Carrie. So I would rate one Orna.
Okay.
So you copy and paste these 3 tweets he provides,
Okay.
and then you're going to replace the 3 tweets here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And here we offer them, so we offer them a tweet, and we also provide them a click to tweet link so that they just have to, they don't have to copy and paste it. They actually could just, you know what click to tweet is?
No.
So click to tweet gives them the opportunity, they can copy and paste this, or if they just, we're going to embed this link as a hyperlink in the words click to tweet. When they click that, it just opens up their Twitter automatically and puts it in as a tweet. All they have to do is hit send.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it makes it incredibly easy for them.
Yeah.
So he provides me with the shortened links so we can track it, because he's tracking any time any guest is actually tweeting, so we know if they're being active or not. So what we do is we copy this, and then so I copy it, delete it, and I get rid of the word link, and I highlight the words click to tweet,
Okay.
and V, so what I just deleted is now in there as a live. Again, target, always new window.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
So and that's number 1. Just be careful. Make sure you're looking at the tweets because you have 2 links here that can easily start getting confusing. You want to make sure you're only working right now with the link next to click to tweet.
Okay.
So, and copy, delete. I get rid of the word link.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in as a live link.
Mm-hmm.
Click to tweet link.
Mm-hmm.
Copy. Get rid of it. And B. New window. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, having done all that, now you're going to highlight everything up to the link.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the whole midsection that we've been working on.
Right.
And we should change the font. Travis Sean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And then we need to go down to the plain text
Yep. Yep.
and all, delete what was there, so we can hit copy from HTML.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And save it.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can go back to contacts.
Mm-hmm.
We've left off with our CW guests, so now we can go to Orna. Just click in front of her name, so now we're just sending it to one item.
Mm-hmm.
Email. And it will be CW guest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that'll be a good choice. This is the one you always want is interview live, because her interview is live as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Check, see, okay, it says Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's there, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Schedule and send. We send it at the same time, 8:20.
Mm-hmm.
And send.
Okay.
All right, and then while you're in here, hang on a second, I need to take a sip of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're going to unclick her. So now we're going to get Carrie's email ready to go.
Okay.
So Carrie's episode broadcasts on Saturday.
Right.
So we want to notify him on Friday. Because I'm assuming, since we broadcast on Saturdays, most of these people probably aren't working, so we notify them the day before.
Okay.
Right? So, again, what we do know is that it's in Carrie's name. So now we can go back to messages.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to find the CW guest emails. All right? And then that one you're looking for now is guest interviewed live tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay? So his episode goes live tomorrow. And pretty much, basically the same things. Go back to the blog.
Mm-hmm.
Open up his episode. And copy. Go to Pretty Link.
Mm-hmm.
Always change that to permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Overrunner. And create.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, here's his live command copy.
Mm-hmm.
Message.
Mm-hmm.
And V. Alright, and back to our emails. I can get rid of that email now. Now we'll go to the emails with Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, emails from Jason for Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
There are the 3 tweets. And copy. Over here.
Right.
And V.
Mm-hmm.
Change the click to tweet links.
Okay.
Copy. Delete. Get rid of the word link.
Mm-hmm.
Highlight click to tweet. Live link. New window.
Mm-hmm.
Next. Command copy. Delete. Highlight. Link. New window.
Mm-hmm.
Command copy. Delete.
Mm-hmm.
Miss the T. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Link. New window.
Mm-hmm.
And then change the fonts.
Right.
Now in this case, this is a lot more text here. I changed the fonts in 2 steps. I first changed the font for the tweets,
Okay.
because this is already all correct up here. You can see the differences, but this isn't. So then I go back and do
Yeah,
that.
I see that. Okay.
It probably doesn't hurt if you highlight the whole thing, but I don't know. Since there's enough text in between here, I just try.
Yeah.
Excuse me. All right, and then down here, of course, you need to command all or highlight all, delete what was there,
Mm-hmm.
copy from HTML, so you have the new plain text.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Overrunner's email done. Save it.
Mm-hmm.
Back to contacts.
Mm-hmm.
And send Carrie. Email. CW guest. And he's getting the interview live tomorrow.
Okay. So do we schedule it to go out on the 4th, or?
So yeah,
Oh, yeah,
then,
I see. Yeah.
yes, then we'll schedule that
Mm-hmm.
out on the 4th.
Okay.
And I generally do like 3:20 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So it's not entirely at the end of the day, but not,
Yeah.
because if it's so far in advance.
Yeah, exactly.
So I picked 3:20 in the afternoon,
Okay.
and then hit send.
Okay.
All right, so now we've done the second main bucket, which is the guests for the week. So bucket number 1 is getting the emails ready. Bucket number 2 is notifying the guests of this week.
Okay.
The third bucket is now we notify next week's guest that their episode will broadcast next week. I'm just waiting for Entreport to get caught up here. I'm not sure why this is taking so long.
So those notifications are to the people that I have not done yet.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just letting them know that they're coming up.
Yeah. So we let them know on Friday that their episode is coming next week.
Okay.
I'm not sure what Entreport's doing, except being Entreport.
All these applications, right? Oh. Is it saving or?
It is saving, yeah. When it's doing that dot thing, it's supposed to save it, but it shouldn't take that long.
I know.
Actually, there's one other. We're going to move on. We're going to do something slightly different anyway. So before we move on to next week, continuing with this week, the other thing we do. So we've got those 2 links for Carrie for the this week's episodes. You need to send Jason a direct link of each of those episodes because he broadcasts in a variety of ways. Like when he's posting on Twitter, he's posting to the website, but he also posts a direct link so people can play it right within Twitter.
Okay.
All right, so to do that, we go to Libsyn. All right, and we will go to the previously. First one we're going to do is we'll do Orna's direct link. So that one's Orna's link. Orna has already been broadcast as of 3:30 this morning. So you go to this little symbol here that's for the link.
Yep.
All right, so you open that up, and at the top you're going to the top link, which is direct download URL. You're going to copy that. So highlight it, Command copy, and then go to Pretty Link. And we're going to make another link. Again, changing it to permanent, to target, and we call this link the last name, boss, DIR, meaning direct.
Okay.
And then we create that link.
Okay.
All right. And then we can go back to Libsyn and make another one. Now we're going to do Carrie's.
Okay.
But Carrie hasn't. I know Carrie technically, so Carrie published to the blog because that's you scheduled it. But you have to understand, it actually doesn't go to iTunes. Libsyn is our host for the episodes in iTunes. Come from Libsyn. So Libsyn hosts the episodes and pushes it out to iTunes when we tell it to.
Right.
That doesn't happen until Saturday for Saturday's episode. Okay, so although you've published it to the blog, it doesn't actually go to iTunes until Saturday. So it's not under previously published. You have to actually go to scheduled for release. And under scheduled for release, Carrie's episode will be there. Again, the Saturday episode, the little link symbol, download, command copy.
But that scheduling of Carrie, I don't do anything on that. It's already been done.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to. I just want to explain to you why you find the Saturday's episode. You will always find under scheduled to be released because it technically hasn't been released yet.
Right. Okay.
To you, it might feel like it was because you released it to the blog, but it's not released to the world yet.
Yeah. No.
The only reason we release it to the blog in advance is so that when we send that email out, those people can listen to it ahead of time. So it's sort of our audience gets a preview of Saturday's episode before the world knows about it.
Now, I am curious, and maybe it's over there under Libsyn, but is it because you have put in the Saturday date that it knows not to go to Saturday?
Correct.
Because I don't do that. I always...
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And no, the work you do is literally releasing it to our website.
Yeah.
But you're not, Libsyn controls going to iTunes and Warren controls Libsyn.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right, so we're going to add the next pretty link, which is, again, change this to permanent. This is for Oberbrunner, direct, Oberbrunner, DIR, create. All right, so now we've got the 2 direct links. So we can take either one of the command copy. Oh, I knew there was another tab. Yeah, the other tab we have to open is Facebook. I communicate directly with Jason through Facebook, so you guys probably will do the same.
Yeah, so I need to, one of us needs to like each other, I guess, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll have to connect you guys. So I just send him a direct message, and I put, here's the direct link for Orna. Command V.
Okay.
Send it to him. And then go back to the pretty link for Oberbrunner.
Yep.
Make a copy.
Yep.
Here's the direct link for Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now he has both direct links that he needs for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Back to Ontraport. And Ontraport is still doing something strange. All right. So we're just going to. It's completely stuck, so I'm going to close it.
Yeah, I understand.
That is not. I'm actually glad that happened. It is not atypical.
Yeah, exactly. I would like, uh-oh.
Yeah, Ontraport is just.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand. I mean, I get that all CRMs, like, it's a really, they're complicated things.
Well, Lead Pages says the same thing, and then it'll finally come up and say either wait or kill page.
Yeah,
and it's just like, you've worked on this page, and it's like, you've got to be kidding.
Yes, and they look internal server errors, so they may be having bigger issues than we think.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that typical? It's Michael messaging me back. Or Jason. His real name is Michael. I forget that because I know him as Jason.
Okay.
But his real name is Michael Jason.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're having issues. Wouldn't you know it?
Will it not let you log in?
It's not. Yeah, it is not logging in.
So what we've got?
Yeah, so they're having
unknown
error.
We've got one bucket to do, right?
Yeah, the last step, which is not urgent for today, thankfully, so maybe we'll have to hop on Skype again later in the week.
Okay.
The last step is to let next week's guests know that their episode is coming in a week.
Correct. Okay.
So we have to come back and do that. So just to kind of summarize, and again, there are 3 buckets to the task. One is getting the 2 emails ready and sent out, which is to our own list, those 2 emails. And then the second bucket is letting this week's guest know, and then the last bucket is letting next week's guest know, which we'll have to come back and do.
Yeah, I've captured that. Okay.
All right. So, as you can tell, there's a lot of little steps, but it's not.
Well, I did the same thing. I recorded it just like in the beginning on the podcast, how you showed me.
Yeah.
And what I do is I just follow my video step by step until it becomes. Natural.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And so I said, what we'll do is next Wednesday, we'll do it together. You'll do it and I'll watch.
Okay. And it'll be a little different because, how do we do that? Because, see, I normally follow the video step by step. So it might be that you just guiding me because I will not remember all those steps without the video.
Right.
But
can you watch the video and
you watch? I think so.
I think so too. We can try it that way. I'm going to try getting on Ontraport one more time.
It's just you might get a little tired of of the way I do it because I triple check myself.
Yeah. No, like I said, I think the only, it just is really just a matter of repetition. Believe me, it took me, let's say it's loading, it took me a long time to figure this out. I mean, it's, and try to get a rhythm down such that I actually we've been doing this for about 40 minutes, and that's with the teaching, right? So if you're doing this on your own, you really get through it 30 to 40 minutes.
It's just like the podcast.
Yep. All right, so Ontraport is back up.
Okay.
So, all All right, so now we'll go into next week's guests.
Okay.
So next week's guests are not actually, they're probably not in the database. So again, something else I have to give you access to is this shared document. Actually, there's a little bit of a workflow thing that we have to figure out, but we're going to have to figure out how to let you know what guests are coming up next week.
Are they not in the shared folder? In order? In order? Or?
I don't think... All right, yeah, so Warren is saying that they are, so... But it's a matter, they would be in there, I'm just not sure if he numbers them that far in advance. Let's find out.
I think they would be, but...
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll make sure that he starts to. Yeah, so Susan...
Yeah, he usually does, yeah.
So Susan Steinbrecher and Nick Cullen are coming up next.
Right.
All right, so now that we know that, so it's Susan and Nick. So knowing that, you will then go to... This is a document that I'll have to start sharing with you. It's a document Jason created, but it's a shared Google Doc called CW Guest List. I'm seeing my tab up here.
Can it go in the shared folder, or does it need to be a Google Doc?
It's a shared Google Doc, so we'll have to add you as somebody who shares the doc. And it's a nightmare. I'm just warning you because we're working on it. The podcast. We're working on creating a whole separate database for the podcast because right now we're doing this in a spreadsheet is a nightmare.
Okay.
The people in green are the people that you need to worry about. If they're in green, that means that they have been recorded. The problem is that they're not in any order. So we're looking for Susan Steinbrecher. Thankfully, she's right here.
So anybody I'm looking for is going to be in green.
It's going to be in green.
Okay.
Yeah. The cool thing, and this is a case where so Susan Steinbrecher, the actual emails actually go to Jill. So this is one of those cases where it doesn't go to the person, right?
Yeah.
So you click on her email, but you can only copy it from up here. So we're going to copy command. We're going to copy that email address.
Yeah.
Go. Did Entreport close itself, or did I accidentally close it? I don't think I closed it. It's gone.
I don't think he closed it, but...
I know. Save. Maybe they're having an issue again. No, it's opening.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So what you want to do first is check. So the whole list is here. You first want to check that email address. Now, it's really unlikely if it's a publicist or something that they're on our database. But a lot of my podcast guests are already in the database. So you want to know that first. So she's not. All right. So now knowing that, we want to add her as a new contact.
Okay.
So the people you're notifying for next week's episodes probably aren't in the database, but again, we always want to check first, otherwise we wind up having them in there twice, and we don't want to be annoying to our guests.
Right.
So, command V the email, always hit save. We know her name. We really only need the first name, and we know her name is Jill.
Okay.
It's probably, it could be Jill, Moyle, but we only need the first name.
Okay.
And then under company, you want to put, if it's not the actual person, you want to put who it is that they're the representative for. Let me just check Steinbrecher's spelling. I think I got it right. Yeah, I did. All right, save. And then this is important. You want to scroll down, tag. You want to tag them as a CW guest.
Okay.
Right, that's important because that's why we also want to know if they're already in the database. CW guests don't end up on our list so that we're emailing them every week. Right, so in the emails that I send out to my whole list, they're one of the groups of people that are eliminated. Right, so that's why it's important that they get tagged. If they're already on the list, that means they opted in because they like other things that I do, and therefore they do receive it. Right. But we'll worry about that. If you come across, the first time you come across somebody who's already on the list, we can talk about it then.
Okay.
I'll tell you what to do. So we've added her. There's no when you add a new contact, there's no save button. So we've added her email, her name, company, tag, and that's it. Like there's no actual, which is weird to me, but there's no save button.
You're kidding. Okay.
So when you add contacts, it's automatically saved.
Okay.
All right, so then the next guest for next week is Nick Collins. So we're going to go back to this list, find Nick Collin in the haystack. I hate this. This is the part that drives me crazy. Really, it's my least favorite part of the whole process. Here it is, Nick. All right.
Well,
And it doesn't.
at least it's not pages long.
I know. Well, you know, as this podcast grows, that's
it
just
will
gonna,
be though. Yeah, database.
See, nothing gets fixed until either Jason or Warren have to deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm the one who has to hunt through the needles with these people, and it's such a pain in the neck.
Warren might disagree with you on pain in the neck things.
Yeah, it is. All right. So now we have to go back. We have to add a new contact.
Yep.
Command V. So it's Nick at Second Flight Academy. Save. First name. Nick. CW guest. All right. Now they're in there.
Okay.
So now we can go to the whole group of CW guests. CW guests.
Okay.
Oops. This is filtering just by her, but no. All right, so you'll see that Nick and Jill are now up top. Now, in a way, this is a good case because this is a case where one email is going to him directly, one email is going to someone else.
Right.
All right, so now we're going to hop over to messages, and this will, I think, make more sense. If we go over to message, we're going back and searching for CW guests, which are the emails that they get. We're looking for the CW guest week before. Right? You open it, you'll see all the wording in here is your Creative Warriors interview goes live next week, your interview. So that's why, again, now that we have one going to a representative and one going to Nick directly. So your Creative Warriors, this is all ready to go for Nick because it's addressed directly to him, right? Your Creative Warriors. So we don't have to change the message. We can actually just go back to contacts, find him, which again, since we already have the group open, he's right at the top. Send email. And it's CW guest week before, and it's all ready to go. We don't even have to change the plain HTML because it's all the same. And we're going to have this go on Friday as well. So we notify next week's guest also on Friday, same time, 3:20 p.m.
Okay.
Right? Now we have to go back to the messages. Pull up those 4 messages again. Week before. Change it to Susan's.
Gotcha.
Susan's Creative Warriors interview, and then down here as well. Susan's interview on Creative Warriors, right? Which means we have to change the HTML. Or the plain text, I should say. And then save it.
And on the one that it went directly to him, we didn't change the HTML.
No, because we didn't change anything to the message. You only have to change the plain text if you change anything in the message.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So now we go back to contacts. And send this message to Jill on behalf of Susan. CW guest. Week before. And Susan's. Scheduled. 4th at 3:20. Now you can do one of two things. You can either leave it like that, the message. You can leave it. The message now has been customized for Susan. You can leave it like that, or if you're worried about forgetting to change that, you can go back to the message and change it to say change her name back to your.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right, but next week, what if the first one you do is another representative and it's Bob, right? So then you might change it to Bob's creative word. So I leave it because I trust that I'm going to remember to go change next.
Exactly.
But that's up to you. But it is something you want to be careful of because I would be horrified if we sent a message to someone and call them Susan.
I know, and if you're horrified, I'm going to be worse than horrified.
Right. And mistakes happen, but that's exactly what you don't want to have, especially these high level people, right?
I know,
So
exactly.
you can, they said I know when I first started this, I always went back and I changed this. So I'm going to change it for you now, so you're starting fresh.
Okay.
But I would, I always went back and changed it because I was so worried about forgetting.
Yeah.
But I eventually got confident enough in my process that I left it.
I understand.
But it's, again, we've changed the message, which means we also have to go back and change the plain text.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think in this case, it might be a good practice to change it in the beginning until you get a little more confident.
I will. Okay, no problem.
All right, so that's everything. Now, the last thing I always do is if you go to my name up here in the upper right-hand corner, click on it and go to Admin. And then you can look at all your, oh, I'm sorry, it's not here. Sorry,
Okay.
rewind. It's under Contacts Settings. Right? So under Contacts, there's a button that says Settings. And then Scheduled Broadcasts. Now you can just look at, although it's after 8:20, so all the episodes from today actually already went out.
So
No, actually they haven't gone yet. I'm not sure why.
Okay.
Isn't it 8:20? It's after 8:20.
8:23, yeah.
Huh, maybe they just haven't. It doesn't even, it says processing, no. Not sure why those haven't gone yet, but so these are, what you've got here. So you've got 6,146 going to the main list,
Yep.
got 113 going to new opt-ins. You've got an email for Susan, going to Susan that her episode's going live next week. You've got the email for Nick, it's going live next week. You've got Warna's email that her interview is live today. And you've got Carrie's email will be live tomorrow because he's coming out on Friday. And you can see you've got emails scheduled for today, Friday, today,
So
Friday.
it's just making sure you didn't leave something out.
Exactly. I mean, if all went well, there will be 6 scheduled broadcasts.
Okay.
Now, it's possible that the reason these aren't processed is because Ontraport works on a loop,
Yeah.
which has about a 15-minute loop on it. So
Okay.
when you schedule something, they don't commit to it going out within a 15-minute window.
Okay.
So,
True.
it just may not have pushed out yet. But and clearly, there's the problem. We had a problem logging on, so I don't suspect there's going to be a problem. But that is a little odd, honestly, because usually it goes out. Because I start getting emails like right at 8:20. I'll start getting emails for people who they have automatic responses. They're on vacation or something.
Right.
So of the 6,146 emails that went out at 8:20, I'll get like a dozen of them back.
Right.
That for some automated reason.
Okay.
All right, so like I said, if everything went well, there should be 6 emails sitting in the scheduled broadcast because you've got, again, your 3 buckets. You've got 2 emails going out about this week's episodes. You've got 2 emails going out to this week's guests, and you've got 2 emails going out to next week's guests.
Correct.
And you've sent Jason his direct links, and you're done.
Okay. I think I'll be fine. I'll just, I'm going to tackle it just like I did the podcast.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think hopefully it'll help to think about it in terms of like those 3 big buckets.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I'll make sure you have access to everything that you need, all the different tabs that are open, as well as the
That one document that you copied the copy from. Remember?
The which?
There's a document that you copied.
Yeah, the new opt-in copy.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen, can sometime before the next podcast, can we schedule a call and go through the graphics again?
Sure.
I know that it's super easy, but what I'm wondering is if if I don't have the same version of Photoshop. You mentioned that yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know that it would be the new. I mean, it shouldn't be because the only commands you're doing are cropping
Mm-hmm.
and then transforming to scale the font. So
Okay.
it shouldn't be a new version thing.
Okay. Well, let's just do it.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Me doing it and you watching.
Right. Yeah. So what is today? Today's Wednesday. Why don't you give me a shout on Friday or something like that, and let's try to connect Friday. Even actually, even Monday. Maybe Monday would be best. I have nothing on my schedule on Monday.
Let's do it Monday when you're not pressed.
Yeah. All right, let's do it Monday. We'll go over it Monday. Just give me a shout, a text or Facebook message if I forget, and then we'll hop on and do it.
What do you want to do? Morning or afternoon? What do you want? Or evening? What do you want to do?
Definitely not evenings. That's what I'm trying to get out of. Morning or afternoon is fine with me.
We'll do afternoon. I'm better in the afternoon.
All right.
Okay.
And I think that's it.
Okay. Good job.
All right. Well, I said it'll take a couple times, but it does get pretty smooth.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious if I open up my email. Yeah. So this is how I know the email went out. See, I'm getting all these Gene at John. These are all auto responses coming back.
Okay.
So yeah, winter hours. I always get my own email.
Mm-hmm.
I spelled my name Jeffro just so I know that it's my, and I spelled my name so I know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the email, despite of what the scheduled broadcast, if we refresh this, it probably would change.
Yeah.
But I know it's out.
Right. Exactly.
Because I'm already getting it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. See, now it's gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's out.
All
right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
I will talk to you Monday.
Y'all have a good week.
All right. You too. Bye.